Hey, this is JC and welcome to Small Brick City, where we want to help you build a Lego city regardless of the space you have. In this video, I'm going to share how to build windows into a Lego building MOC using a S.N.O.T technique. S.N.O.T refers to studs not on top. If you've been watching Lego videos, I'm sure you've come across this technique and seen them used in various MOCs. However, maybe you aren't sure of how to apply them for your own build. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to apply the S.N.O.T technique and build windows on the side for your Lego building. These are standard large Lego window frames, but these have grills on it to create the window pane look. And typically when you're to build them for a building, you place them onto a base plate and build your wall around them. And this creates a very nice textured look. But if you want something different and you want to use more sophisticated technique in your Lego building MOCs, you can use a S.N.O.T technique to create a window that looks like this. These are typical window pieces, the larger and the small ones. But they're built on the side because typically you would build them this way. But because this is a S.N.O.T technique, you're building them on the side and you're connecting them on the side and building them outwards like that and building the wall perpendicular to them. It is a different technique, and if you're not used to it, it can be a bit confusing, but don't worry, in this video I'm going to show you exactly how you do this and you can start using the technique for your own MOCs right away. Typically when you're building windows into the wall of a building, you would take the window frames and you attach them to the base plate like this. Then you build the bricks around it and on top to seal the window frames inside. But in a S.N.O.T technique, you want to build the windows sideways like this, so you have to do things a bit differently. One of the things you need are these modified bricks with studs on the side. Some people call these S.N.O.T bricks. That's not entirely correct, but these are modified bricks with studs on the side. There's something similar called the headlight brick, which has a slight indentation, and they won't be used for this particular S.N.O.T technique because you need something that is flush with other bricks and the studs just comes out on the side like this. Now here's the tricky thing with S.N.O.T techniques. You do have to figure out the Lego math behind how many of these modified bricks you need. So for example, intuitively you might think you just need a bunch of these bricks and then you can attach the window frames to the side. But it's not as straightforward as that, because as you can see, what happens is these modified bricks with the studs on the sides don't line up perfectly with the recessed bottoms of these window frames. So you cannot just use a stack of these modified bricks as they are. You will need a couple of these 1x1 studs in the same color, and you want to create spaces between these modified bricks. As a guide, and this is just really just a rough guide and not a rule, for every one of these modified bricks, you use two spaces, that is two 1x1 plates to act as spaces, and then you put another modified brick on top, and then two plates, and then a modified brick. And this generally will work out quite well for you to place the frames onto the studs. So it looks something like this. I've got that prepared. So I have a modified brick, two plates, and then a modified brick, two plates, and so on. Now what this allows me to do is to attach this just like that, and that will go on here. The next one goes here, and notice how it matches the recess of the window frames, and that goes here and this goes here. Okay, now I've done this for demonstration purposes. You can see obviously there is not enough brick here, and there's just a bit too much brick here, and the reason is you need to add one more regular brick here, and that's where you do your building. And let me show you using this plate. Just assume that this base plate is the base plate of a building that you're building, and I'm just going to create a wall using these modified bricks, and these are just corner bricks here. So what I want to do is let's give it more space here and here. So I'm going to place this over here just like that, and then I'll take the window frames and I'll place them in just like that. And you can see what I'm achieving here. I'm creating the S.N.O.T technique with the modified bricks and plates, and now I've successfully placed these window frames on the side. Of course, they're not entirely secure and we do have to build around this, but this is the basic idea. so it's not as daunting and difficult as you might think. So after we place the frames, there are a few things we need to do. The first thing I'm going to do is to secure this end. Now there's no reverse modified bricks where you can kind of put them in, and you don't really need to, but what we can do is what we're going to do is fill up the gap. You see that is this gap here, because what we will do in just a bit is to build up this wall, but we need to fill in this gap. And this gap actually is about 2 plates thick. So you need 1 plate and 1 towel. Press them together and place them on the end of all these window frames. What you have done also is to secure these window frames together so that they are held together as a unit, so they're a bit more stable. Now when I place this back and I place the rest of the wall, you can see it actually rests quite snugly against this stack of bricks to form the wall. But there's still a lot of gaps we have to fill up, so let's talk about the gaps first. Notice there's a gap right below the bottom of the frames. So what we're going to do is very simple. We'll just take one of these, a towel piece, and place it over the exposed studs of the base plate. What that does is to fill in that space, and now you can see that looks pretty good. Okay, now what you realize is, because of the nature of this technique, this is a bit flimsy. Of course, when you build this up, for example, you would build it like that, and later you would secure the top so that it's firm. But you still have this hinging effect just due to the nature of the build. So what we're going to do is create some stoppers, and that's very simple. All you need are more long plates and towels. So just something like that. You need 2 of them, and you can place 1 in front, and you can place 1 behind. So this is exactly the same thing. It's a plate and a towel. So these will act as stoppers but will not block the view of the windows. So what we've done is now sandwich that particular window frame or window frame unit between these 2 towel plates. So that's pretty good. It's pretty secure. Of course, the top is not secure, and that's where you would plate it as you would with any build. So you take a plate like that and put it across to hold everything in place, and now that is 1 solid unit. So that's basically the technique of how you create a window frame using a S.N.O.T technique, building it into a wall and making it secure. So there are really 2 steps. It's to figure out the number of modified bricks to use and what spaces to use in order to put and align these windows nicely, and the second is to build it in such a way that it is secure. That's of course really important. The great thing about a technique like this is you can add more things just to make things more interesting, and that's the whole purpose of doing a S.N.O.T technique for a window. I don't advocate doing it just for no reason. I know some people just like to do it for the sake of doing S.N.O.T techniques, but you do it really just to increase the sophistication of your design. And when you do something like that, it gives you opportunity to create more texture for the exterior of your building. Let me give you an example. We can add an arch to it, and I'll use this particular very long curved arch piece. We'll add 2 columns, and I can put this right here. And I think you can see where I'm going with this. I'll just fill in the space here with 1 by 1 bricks and 1 by 2 bricks. And what I can do is now take a long plate, which is 2 studs wide, and I can secure everything together, and this is an even better securing plate than just using a 1 by something plate. So it serves 2 purposes. I've created a really nice textured looking window with a unique design because of the S.N.O.T technique, and I've got it really securely built because I'm using a 2 by something plate. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video on how to create a window using a S.N.O.T technique for a building mock. If you've got any questions or clarifications, please let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.